Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and want to thank you so much for joining me this evening. Those who are on Facebook, those who are on TikTok, yeah, Talk Tik, those on Instagram, and those on YouTube. I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening. This evening on the In Review, where we look at some of the top news. And I would say that for this evening, we're gonna maybe just touch on a couple breaking things like in the UK. Well, I wouldn't say breaking, but things like the government, you know, the Sustama. I don't want to say Sustama. I'm trying to use Sustama. Sue Gray pay leaks, whereby she's paid almost the same or more than the Prime Minister, if anything like that. Sue Gray is one of the top persons within the cabinet. She's not a minister or so. And also, there's great discussion about the Prime Minister defends the corporate seats for Arsenal games, getting a lot of these perks, and also lots of secret gifts from public swell the treasury coffers. Did you know that lots of people are also leaving money for the government, You know, just like how they leave money sometimes for pets and for charities, people are actually leaving money for the government coffers to use as what they can do. I found that very interesting. But while I'm talking about that, I also got to touch over and swing over into Jamaica, because in Jamaica there's a big thing now about the Integrity Commission and I wouldn't say the findings, but some of the investigation that they're having in respect of the present Prime Minister of Jamaica, Prime Minister Andrew Holness. 28 bank accounts, you know, lots of money, which seemed to be what they're trying to find is the source of it. But this is very concerning, and it's the reason why I am titled this show tonight as "What Makes Leaders Resign," because many people are saying it's the end of the Prime Minister or so like that. I believe it's a wake-up call and it's a time for Jamaica. But anyhow, let us see how we will look at this later. Well, good evening, Sir Gary Graham Senior, Maga. Can you hear me, Gary? Is it okay? Let me see if we can hear. Can you hear?
Loud and clear.
You can hear. Yeah. Okay. How's your day? How's the day, Gary? It's
Yeah, I'm good. It was good. It's been a good day. Yeah, thank the Lord. Every day
yes.
that I'm alive and I'm blessed to be a part of is always a good day.
Yes. I must say that the weather has been really great in the UK. The weather has been really great. Today was really sunny and windy at the same time. I didn't go to the park because I had an early start today, you know. But Gary, there's something that I saw the other day. You know, I walk in the park a lot, and it's very interesting that you meet people and you see people, and you don't know what's going on with people's lives. And maybe a couple of years ago, I was walking in the park and I saw this gentleman, and there's a business place that he had in Catford there, and he was walking with his head down a bit, and I approached him at one point, somehow stranger that we were able to buck up in the park to a certain point, and I started to talk to him, and coincidentally he said that he's got problems with his contact with his children and everything like that. So I was able to offer him some sort of legal advice as a lawyer in that particular profession, coincidentally, you know. But Gary, I saw the guy last week. I think it was Saturday or so, or Friday in the day. And Gary, the guy, as I say, he looks mashed up. You know, he looks different. He looks, you know, sometimes you walk past someone and you see maybe someone looking like a beggar or someone looking a bit distraught. And then it clicked me and I said, hang on a second, he's not the same guy. Because the business was closed down, you know. And it just dawned on me, and I prayed, I prayed for him well, thought about it, and I said to myself, wow, you never tell. Sometimes you see someone today, you don't know what happened tomorrow, And I hopefully that I'll see him again, if anything like that. But he looks really different, and it just shows you about the world, that sometimes the priorities that we have is so wrong and so misplaced. When it all
So
boils
true.
but down to people. All right, it's very interesting. You know, and things like that. But listen, there's so
Yeah,
much
it
things that,
is. It is.
yeah, yeah. There's so many things happening. Hi, Michelle is here. Balance. I haven't seen Michelle for a while. Are you campaigning for Trump? I haven't seen you. You're keeping Trump on, over there in the States. But Gary, I was looking at something the other day, and 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 it's interesting. Do you know that people actually leave money for the government? You know that?
What was that?
Do you know that people leave gifts for the government,
Oh
for the
yes,
treasury coffers?
yes, yes. I'm very much aware of that.
I know that people leave money like for charities, or people leave money for even pets and dogs or something like that. And sometimes family members have their sort of what should I say, dispute legally because of that. But I was just reading something the other day that the secret gifts from public swell treasure coffers. What do you know about this? Uh, these things.
Well, yeah. I mean, if one of the streams of finance for government is if people don't have wills, and if people don't have anybody to leave money to, or whatever it may be, then it goes straight to the government.
Yeah, but Gary, I'm speaking about something differently. I'm speaking about people leaving money,
Even, yeah,
or
yeah.
they're leaving money for the government. What it actually says, that as Keir Starmer struggles to balance the government books and his staff pay bill, help is at hand. People making voluntary donation to the nation's coffers. It's already this year, 18 people have handed over almost 620,000 without the taxman even asking for it,
Mm.
according to figures obtained by the BBC. In the past 2 decades, a total of 153 donations have been made to the Treasury, including 27 people who left money to the Chancellor in their will. That's
Yeah,
bolstered the national accounts of 4.7 million since 2003. You know, and at one point they said that the what is it? Money was left for the the coalition with David Cameron and Nick Clegg. It emerged that Joan Edwards, a retired midwife from Bristol, had left 520,000 bequests to whichever government is in office
yes,
at the date of my death for the government. And they said the solicitors at the time interpreted this as a political donation, and they split the money 80-20 between the Conservatives and Liberal Democrats, who were both government at the time. And there were backlash after the details were published by the Electoral Commission, and the Lib Dems handed over their 100,000 to the Treasury, and the Conservatives soon after did the same with their 420,000. There's lots of money in the system there.
oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
yeah, and yeah. So that was just something that I was looking at, and it's very interesting. But let's move over quickly into Trump. I don't know if you heard about that. There was another um attempt on his life at his golf course.
Another one.
Another one. Yeah, there was another attempt. Right, Michelle? What happened is that while he was there getting ready to play, or on the field, there was a guy, and he had a camera, and also he had his gun. ready to apparently take out Donald Trump. And also, apparently, the person also what he did was the camera was to sort of say, "Here I am, sorting it out for you guys," if anything like that, you know. So the big discussion now in the States is, should Donald Trump get the same level of protection as a sitting president? Because they say a sitting president gets more, because the whole parameter of the field would have been explored a bit more. But now they're saying that he should have the same as Joe Biden as a sitting president. Is that so, Michelle? Yeah, the as to what is happening in America there, and people are saying that the government need to and the CIA, the Secret Service, need to actually um support this particular move, and also they need to tone down the rhetorics, because some of the rhetorics is that Donald Trump is being said is a threat to democracy, and they need to eliminate that threat. So those are some of those terms which are actually being used, and they're saying tone down those words, because very impressionable minds may actually take it up and run with it, unfortunately, which is what is saying, you know. What do you say about that?
I mean, you have to wonder. I mean, I don't know. Um I don't know how to look at these things. You
Mm,
know, I don't know how to look at them because one, I want to think it's a credible thing that they want him assassinated.
yes.
They want him out of the way. But then on the other hand, it's as if that they are. It's a what do you call it now? It's a election ploy to get the votes,
You mean
and
a
they have
sympathy?
this.
You mean like a sympathy thing?
Yes, yes.
So you
Now
think
that's
you think?
just. I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's what sometimes comes into my mind.
Mm,
You know, it's as if that's what I am. That comes to mind because they
mm,
seem to come at critical points in the elections.
yes.
If you look and see at the points in which these things happen to occur, it's as if they are they're trying to get the attention of the electorate to say that
Mm,
a soft spot or to hit a there's a word that I want to use,
mm,
um, that emotional aspect, because we all know whichever country you're in, whatever party you lean into, each party appeals
yes.
to the emotion of the electorate. So if
Mm,
you are, let's say for instance, if you are in relation to Jamaica, just for argument's sake, we know that there are two main parties, which is JLP and the other one is PNP.
yeah.
Now, both electorate may come forward. No, both parties may then use ploys in which to appeal to the emotional aspect of
Mm,
of of the electorate to get the vote. And
yeah.
sometimes I do think that is what, or that may be happening in the Trump camp.
Mm, yeah. Someone says, Jacqueline Franklin says, an attempt was made on his life. Therefore, his protection need to be leveled up. He's a political figure. And I think, Jacqueline, there are twice now, twice. Well, the second one was, well, some are saying that it wasn't an attempt, but all the signs were there that the potential was there. Uh, Michelle, are you there? Michelle, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello,
Mm.
everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
I miss.
Mm.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
So
Rev. How you doing? It's been a while.
It's been a while, Mitch. Yes, it's been a while. It's been a while. How you
Yes,
keeping?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Trying to
mm,
make
Good.
it. As for me, I think this is the third one. Well, the second one they
Third
said,
one. Okay.
because the this is a third attempt.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, another one was made this one day this week. Um, the second one they said, because the golf course is around like where the golf course is located, you have stores and different in that community.
Yeah.
And that what they were saying was two guys. I think it was two guys that it was about them, not Donald Trump.
Really?
They was
Hmm.
buying at each other.
Oh, you mean sorry, not the one which was on the field, not the golf course one. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the one that him and his friend was out on the field and they heard the pop pop pop, and the security came and took them whatever. When they went to investigate, it was like two guys out. They were arguing amongst themselves and they fired shot amongst themselves.
Okay.
That's what the report came out. Now,
Okay.
this third one that just happened, they said it was even one of his um uh supporters
The one on
that
the golf
tried it.
course. The one on the golf course you're talking. The guy
Well,
with the
how many
GoPro
times on the
camera.
golf? Well, is this is the third time on the golf course or something?
Yeah,
It,
there was one which was
the
on the golf
first
course.
one was at his rally,
Yes, yes. We know that one
and
with
the
the air.
second one was at the golf course. The second one that you heard, I don't know if it was earlier this week or over the weekend that we
Yes.
heard that happened. It was the one on the golf course, but it didn't happen on the golf course. It happened outside, and it was two guys. They said that was had something between them two, and they fired shots. That's what the report came out and said.
Okay.
Then the third one now, that the third attempt, they said it was even one of his supporters that did it. So I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know how come him have so much attempt on film life.
Mm.
I think that Trump is just, he is such a character that he's trying to look attention.
I thought you were gonna say he was trying to look demure.
Demure, yeah, well, that's a new word now, right? Yeah, demure. Yeah,
Sorry. I don't know if you know about these
and
things, Gary. I'll keep you
I
updated,
just don't know.
Gary.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Why come um even at the rally, they said
Yes.
he got piece of his ears shot off. Up until now, me not see nothing with Trump ears to backside. Me not see nothing.
Well, well,
Me
maybe,
not see nothing. It was just like, to me, it was all something that they set up, and it was all a setup. I
well,
don't
well,
know what for.
well, maybe they fix the air very quickly.
Listen,
With
fix with ear, bruh. Then all of a sudden you see people who are over here in the US, you wearing an ear patch. That was a new thing. That were
yes,
they were wearing ears patch. You know, silliness. But let
yeah.
me tell you something. Right now, how I see it, I am not voting.
You're not going to vote.
No,
It's very
I am not.
it's very interesting you mentioned that, because I'm going to touch on that in the last bit when I touch on Jamaica and about voting. Why you don't want to vote? Why is not
No,
important to vote? Yeah.
because I am not what they say. Choose the lesser evil. I'm not about that. None of them suits
Okay.
me, so I will not vote for none. Okay? Kamala, I don't think well, I know she's not fit to go up in there. I'm sorry.
Mm,
I'm not about Democrats anymore. Democrats, all they do is use black people when it comes on to time for voting. That's
mm,
how it is. It's the use. And black people need to wisen up, open up your eyes, and realize what is really taking place here.
mm, mm,
My
mm.
choice would have been Robert Kennedy. I'm sorry.
But he's there supporting Trump. He's on
He's
Trump's side.
supporting Trump now after they did all what they did to him. They wouldn't let him go on the
The
debates.
ballot.
They wouldn't
Yeah.
let him do anything.
Mm.
The Democrats blocked him out of everything.
Yeah. But with him now there, chances are he would get a good position if Trump wins, just like how what's his name, Ben Carson had secured
Hmm.
a good position as housing person, and I think Robert Kennedy has been talking a lot about youths and
Yes, that's what I love
age.
about it, because he
Yeah,
talks about the vaccine, he talks about the
yeah,
pharmaceutical companies, how all of
mm,
that go, and I like that kind of stuff,
yeah,
because that's what's killing all of us off. This is what is
yeah.
going on right now.
You know,
Well,
you know,
let me not say kill. I shouldn't. That what unalive?
yeah. Unalive, yeah, because that's the word they use on TikTok,
That's the
Gary.
word they use on
On,
YouTube. Yeah,
on
unalive.
unalive,
Hmm.
Gary, unalive. Yeah, you know, Gary, you know, Gary. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was saying to myself, right now, I don't care which one become president, whether Kamala or whether Trump, because there's something that gives me a level of assurance, and it's a Bible, and that's the word. That is for personal Christians. You know, it says the king's heart is in the palm of the Lord, and he directs it like the water course wherever he goes. And they always say that people should pray for your leaders so you have peace. And then at the same time, the scripture also talks about he set up kings and removed kings, Gary. So therefore, it's like it doesn't matter. Just get the person in, and whether Kamala have the thing about uh, gender assignment and all those sort of things. Who knows? God in control. You know, you might surprise that these things don't come alive. What do you think, Gary? I'm just looking at the bigger picture, a godly picture, God and government.
No, well, I mean, I think you're correct in a sense. I mean, those of us who who are Christians, let's say, those of us who
Mm,
are Christians, I think that we ought to know and to acknowledge that every leader in whichever country that may be
mm,
is ordained by God, is preordained, and no man or woman really is in a position because of on their own merit or
mm.
because they want to be or they desire to be. I
Yes,
think God has very much has everything. He knows everything. He knows who's going where and what they will be doing,
yes,
and where He wants the world or the position in which He wants the world to be in for His return. So
yes,
the Bible does say it here that the king, the heart of the king, is always in more or less in the hand of God, and He turneth it
as he so.
whithersoever He wants it to go.
Michelle, let's go back again to the whole bit about voting. You said you believe that someone said, and she's in the States as well, like yourself, voting is a right, and if we do not exercise our right, we stand for nothing. The Bible is not against.
Bull crap. I hate to hear people tell people about you stand and people die for you for vote. Ain't no damn body die for me to vote. Okay, nobody ain't go out there and die for me to vote. And also you have, let me tell you something. People go out there and they vote. It's not even your vote that's electing the
Uh,
president. It's the electoral vote. Okay, 7 states within the 50 state that we got. Okay, so that's bull crap.
so what you're
Can't
saying, the word
nobody pressure me into doing that.
so
I'm
what
not
you're
gonna
saying,
vote, and that's just it. That's
so we,
it.
so what you're saying, the whole essence of democracy in America is a fake, is
It's
a
a
pipe
fake.
dream.
It's not democrat. Democracy is not even in the Constitution. Okay,
Mirrored,
the
you're
word
from Sri Lanka.
democracy is not
Yeah,
even in the Constitution. So people better
yeah.
know that.
Mirrored, Dream, how are you? You're in Sri Lanka. How are you? And thank you for coming on again. What do you
Good,
think
good.
about
Thank you.
what do you think about Michelle said about voting and in America especially it's not something which is real. It's a pipe dream in a sense
It
because
is.
it's left to the electoral colleges. That's why they focus in Pennsylvania. What is it? Pennsylvania. Where else again? Where are the three places gone? What are the big places? Michelle. Pennsylvania. Was it
Um,
Alabama?
yeah, Pennsylvania, I think Alabama, 7 other different states.
Yeah.
So you're
Mirror.
not gonna
Uh,
tell me my little
Yeah.
vote that I do ain't doing jack. The
But Michelle.
electorals,
But,
it goes
but
down
Michelle.
to how many people vote in that state,
Yeah.
and that's how they count the
Yeah,
votes.
but Michelle, a lot of people are going to say my little vote, and when you look, millions of people are going to say my little vote.
Minakir. I'm not
All
voting this year. I'm not voting this voting season because nobody to me fits for what I'm looking for, and that's
Where,
it.
where Jacqueline say she stays at home and enjoys the benefit of other people's effort. Take that. I'm setting you guys on to each other. That's what Jacqueline says to you.
And good for Jacqueline. Good for you.
uh, Muirhead Jiran, what you got to say?
Yeah, I think if you looking at the whole the preferential voting percentage in a popular vote we can call.
Mm,
Uh, Sometimes, like it looks like the losing candidate gets more popular vote than the winning president. Okay, like
mm,
presidential candidate. So that may hurt the other side,
mm.
but anyhow, the American election holding the balance. But there are some of the states like that always Democrats hold. Some of the states are very safer to the Republicans. But there are certain swing states only decides the next president, right?
Yes,
But if I feel it like if maybe like that doesn't look very fair because fair means like as a whole population in America, like the more whoever gets more than 50 percentage uh, should be get elected as a president. But that doesn't it works on electoral colleague like colleges, right? I can say like the delegates. Okay,
yes,
so but there is a small. I know this is a very long history of democracy when it comes to U.S. electoral system. But
mm,
one thing is I can find out, like say for example, like people, say example in Florida, right? Florida, like it's a swing state, but most of the time it always swings. Most of the time it swings towards GOP, the Grand Old Party, the Republican.
yes,
But you take about New York, Washington D.C. Like you can't even dream it to win that
mm,
particular area, right? But once the particular state, there are two type of voting shares are there. Like some who votes for Democrats, some who vote for Republican. But sometimes say 51 percentage of people have voted for say Republican, and 49 percentage people have voted for Democrat. So it holds a very balanced line between either side. But at the end, the number of delegates. Now, for example, say I don't know the Florida. I think it's 28. Am I correct? Uh, Now say 50,
Yes.
49, and 51, right?
yeah,
But what happens at the end? Whole 20, the whole cream of 20 goes to the winning side. That is, if Republican wins with 51 percentage, they will get it.
yes.
But the 49 percentage will not even get a single reward for their hard work to come up to that level. The voters are wanted to have their preferred candidate to win. That place I feel like the US in electoral system that has to be reformed. To be honest, I'll tell you that as a whole, it doesn't. As a whole, I mean there are 50 states, right? All the
Yeah.
states, holding in balance because of this electoral system, right? If it is
You
goes
know.
on a
Go ahead, please. Go
hello,
ahead, go ahead. No,
yeah,
keep talking, keep talking.
if
Sorry.
yes, yes, it's 50. Now, for example, the entire US states has been holding
Yeah,
because of this balance electoral process, like this election, like the system. Okay,
yes,
but when it's come to the states, uh, there is no proper share between the either sides. You understood that. That
yeah.
maybe like they could say like they have senates and the state senates, and on the basis of that they might say they are okay in balance. But I feel it like selecting a president.
Well,
I feel like
yeah. Well, in moving away from that,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's
in
a
moving away,
selection.
yeah, in moving away from this and looking at the different wars which are happening in the states now. Sorry, in the Middle East and also Ukraine. We are seeing the Isabella and Israel has sought out this new fresh um, of what should I say pages. More than 2,600 people were injured when thousands of pages exploded on Tuesday and walkie-talkie exploded on Wednesday. Do you believe that with the Biden in charge? Well, I don't know if he's in charge, but with Biden in charge of the United States, that these things are happening? If there's a change of government, do you believe that Trump will have a more direct impact in a positive way to stop this, or or Kamala will with this new, because they are going on different fronts now with wars in the Middle East?
You're
Michelle,
asking
what?
me?
Yeah, well, I put it to Michelle
Um,
first. Yeah, leading up to the
I've
presidency.
been living in the United States over 50 years now.
Yeah.
And from what I have noticed, every time there's a war that comes about, the Democrats are always the one that's in the House.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying.
They're normally presiding over it. It's under their watch, rather.
Always under their watch. Yep.
Yeah, but Bush was the one who instigated after September 11, Iraq.
A lie. It was
Desert,
all a lie. It was all a lie.
but it was on the Bush. It was on the Republicans.
But if you go from there, or even
Yeah,
before, it's always under the Democrats.
yeah, yeah. Um, Muirhead, with this new level of war which is happening over there in the Middle East, what's your take on it? And you know, with Israel,
Uh,
with this device,
yeah,
this new wave. Mm,
I think it's very unethical. It's inhuman, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about in the end of the day, it's a it, it's a clash between two groups. But very important is, all are human, right? But
yes,
there is a certain rules and regulations should be followed. The war has its own rules to follow. You can't pick and choose by saying, like, the when it comes to the war rules, you can't make a pick and choice, because end of the day, if you talk about terrorism, for example, right? They say they are
yeah,
terrorists, okay. But when a state is also behaving like the terrorists, like, they go away from the war rules, and what do you call, uh, uh, killing people in a
mm,
inhuman way, also they are also part and parcel of the terrorism. Now look at this. Now you have to fight with the conventional fight, plus you can use the technological fight, okay, you can use in your war. But this is betrayal. How am I going to buy a device? What is my now the thing is, now whoever makes the device, okay, have more leverage than the person who consumes the device, like whoever is the consumer of the device, right? Now, uh, you know that ethical, that professional ethics must be followed in when it comes to these pages or mobile phones or anything. Now this is like, I feel it like, you think that if we have a CCTV camera, you think that it's our own privacy? Do you think
mm,
that we can have it our own privacy? Or you think
mm.
that the manufacturing companies will have planned something else with their device which they are selling to us? So
Yep.
this is a big question now.
Yep.
This is a
Yes.
very big
Yes.
question. You
Mm-hmm.
Garo,
know,
yeah,
I will tell that is, end of
yeah,
the day, the Israelis, they are the fight in that particular region, okay. But it's very important is, this particular inhuman act, right, is questioning about the fairness in the world. It looks like, I'm very disappointed to see that now. It may be like, people start will boycotting US products. This could happen.
mm,
You have to understand that 700 billion population in the world. You can't just there's a certain percentage, uh, you know only you can be able to sell the product. But if the whole
yeah,
world looking to this matter as a serious matter, then the US will lose its economy because of the people stop buying these products, not the
Yeah.
pages. I'm telling any technological product because they feel unsafe.
Gary, what's your take on this new wave, this new fresh wave of attack by Israel in the Middle East there?
Well, I mean, it's it's fascinating to some extent to know that um, well, up until now, Israel, as far as I'm aware, I don't know if they have in recent time, you know, throughout the course of today, but
Yes.
Israel has been very quiet. They're not either admitting that they've done it or they've been involved, even though Hezbollah and most of the Arab nations and probably even the Western nations suspect Israel to be
Mm.
involved. But it's very concerning that this could be done,
Just
whether
like
it's
that.
whether it's Israel or not,
Yeah.
whether Israel is involved or not, by the very fact that your mobile device or your pager, if you've got one, or your solar panel on your
Mm.
roof and your car battery can be
Yes.
used to explode. That's very concerning.
Well, guys, it is a bit similar to September 11, whereby weapons that was used were planes. you know, weapons which
Yeah,
were used were planes. So what we're saying now is that we're seeing where charges, well, sorry,
So
pages. I
they
don't use
say.
page. Sorry, what's
So
that?
they say it was the
What?
planes.
Okay, but of course we saw the plane
Okay.
went into the
Well,
Michelle.
that's what we've seen. All right. You got to go back into history. The man who owned the tower, the
Yeah.
World Trade, 2 weeks before he took out a big insurance thing on that building. That building.
Yes.
You see, a lot of people talk about conspiracy this, conspiracy that, but I'm the type that I read a lot and I do a lot of reading.
Yes.
And um, a lot of people, when you hear them talk about the towers when they went down, it wasn't really. I don't think. I think it was something that was already planted in the towers to let it go down so fast. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. No problem. We're hearing a lot of that. Um, I want to go back to Jacqueline before we touch, because Myriad, I'm going to touch on something on Jamaica, but when do leaders need to resign because of some developments? I don't know if you've seen what happened recently in Jamaica. Um, Jacqueline said something here, and let us analyze it in about a couple of minutes. Trump will not be the best candidate because he's too hot tempered and he will start firing before reasoning. On the other hand, Kamala needs to be given a chance to see what she brings to the table. Is what Jacqueline said fair about Trump being hot tempered based on the fact that we have experienced and seen him over 4 years? Would you say that Trump is hot tempered, guys?
His ego.
I don't think so. I don't think so. In my
I
in
think
my
it's an
point of
ego
view,
problem that he has.
Yeah.
in my point of view, Trump wanted to run America like an enterprise,
Yeah.
not as a country. You understood that. He just wanted to
Yes.
make sure that
Yes.
how to safeguard the U.S. economy, and he wanted to make sure. You look at this now. Now, if you okay, it's good for the businesses, right? When it's come to the U.S. businesses moving to China, India, and they are keeping their manufacturing plants. That will give them more opportunity to gain more profit. I will say that it's not
Mm.
giving more benefit to the U.S. U.S. people, the public, right? But it gives more profit for the businesses, right?
Yeah.
But what Trump thinks is now, if you're looking at the progressive part now, even the China is progressing, not because of at the beginning, not because of Chinese. I would say that China got the basic foundation from the U.S. investment. The
Yes.
US investors moved to China is the place the China got the opportunity to progress in such a speedy way to this level, right?
Okay.
But if Trump looks into this thing, what the Trump thinks is there will be a time comes, okay, uh, the Chinese investor needed for the US to grow faster, or to take the economy up. At that time, it's a checkmate for the US as a superpower. Okay, that's what he is trying to portray the America is like an enterprise rather than a
Yes,
country. He don't want to getting into the trouble of other countries. He don't want to poke his nose to every country's issues. If you
yes.
see that what Trump did with Russia, what Trump did with North Korea, he just tried to build the dialogue, and he wanted to see what he can
Okay,
do.
okay. So,
Stay away.
so
Yeah,
go to the question then: is he hot tempered or is he measured?
I
Quick
think
one,
he's
yes or no?
measured. He's
He's
not
measured.
hot tempered,
Yeah.
because if he's hot tempered, I'll tell you this. Let me tell you one good question. This is very important.
Yeah.
Trump was popular into Trump was getting the support from the Republican to win the 2020 election. There is
Yeah.
no question at all. Where the Trump made the mistake, that was the campaign mistake that made him to lose the election, because he never understood that due to COVID lockdown, the postal voting is more powerful than the people who go to the polling centers. But Trump's
Yeah.
campaign team spend more money on the traditional campaign than the polling, than the postal
Also
voting. But
to get him.
the Democrats, the Biden team has done that in a different. That's what even at the beginning of the stage, Trump was winning, but the
Yeah.
later he was losing because the postal act started to counting. Trump lost the election, so he
Okay.
was
Good.
not unpopular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Gary, is Trump more measured or is he hot tempered?
I don't think he's hot tempered. Again, I would like to agree
Muirhead.
with Muirhead, yeah, and I think
Mm.
that it's him. I think it's him. I think we've got to understand people and how
Yes.
people react. I don't think he's hot tempered. If he was hot tempered, he would act differently. I think
Yeah.
if he was hot tempered, he would act differently. I think it's him. It's his character. It's
Yes.
him doing what he does best. And I would agree with what also my colleague says, in that he took America not as and treated the government not as a government, but as an enterprise. So he
Enterprise.
looked at it as a business, because if you notice his language, he always used the word um, deals, making a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Get
It's not more like,
Get NATO to pay more. Get these guys to pay more. America been paying all of this all the while. This is what you're
it,
trying to say.
it, yeah, it wasn't so much
Yeah.
always to do to to to
Yeah.
sit and to negotiate, to negotiate on level terms, so to speak, or brinkmanship or
Yeah.
whatever. It
Yeah.
was about making a
Yes.
business deal, and
Yes. Yes.
in terms of business, not in terms of
Exactly.
politics.
Mm.
Well,
He's not a politician.
well,
Trump
the
is
government is a
not
corporation
a
anyways.
politician. Trump
That's it.
is a businessman.
And
Trump
Michelle,
is a businessman, and he thinks in terms of business.
back that up now with what you're saying now, and you're saying a corporation, isn't it?
The government is a corporation any doggone way.
Well,
It
yes,
is.
it is. Yes.
But
Mm.
It is.
yeah, but one thing you have to understand. If you looking at the 2020 election, okay, Trump was not defeated not only by through the Biden camp. Even the most of the establishment in the world wanted Trump to lose, because they know that Trump is taking away the
Yeah.
America from these all type of poking noses in other part of the world. So they
He's
need America to be a Billy. I would say it's like a they call that as a America, US to lead every issues in the world. They want
mhm.
US to lead and others to follow. So when
Yeah.
Trump leads away, somebody has to take it over. That is the problem. Establishments went away from went against on Trump's victory
Yes.
in 2020.
Yes. Well.
I
Listen.
just
Well.
see it that he
Yeah.
has
Go
an
on, Michelle.
ego, and I don't think that Trump even know anything about government.
Yeah.
That's
Well.
just
Well.
it. And he's up
Well.
there, and certain question that is being asked, he can't. it's like I can't. I look at the man and he can't even answer. He's off to a
Yes,
different thing.
yes,
Like it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Okay, I want to move away from Trump quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening on the In Review. Topic is when should leaders resign in the political domain. Thank you for those joining on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok as well. We're seeing me on the side. Thank you for Muir Jiren for joining from Sri Lanka. Gary Graham from Birmingham. Well, Leeds. Are you in Leeds, Gary? Where are you Leeds?
I'm in Leeds tonight, yes.
Yeah, Leeds tonight. You travel all over the place. And Michelle from Chumpland and Sylbourne here in
Which state? Which state? Michelle from which state?
And the
where's that, Michelle? We lost it there, Michelle.
The main Republican state, Florida.
The main Republican. Yeah, yeah. But listen, gentlemen and lady and people, there's a big thing happening in Jamaica. Remember we were talking recently about the developments in Jamaica. Well, there's something more now. What has happened more in Jamaica now is that there's an integrity commission which is investigating 8 members of parliament for illicit enrichment, which is corruption and which is money they're trying to ascertain where they get these from. Well, it turned out that the Prime Minister of Jamaica has not got his statutory declaration being certified for 3 years. Am I correct? I hope I'm correct there. I tried to, because I went on Twitter today and I went on Twitter today and just said something like, "It's good to be transparent, and the Prime Minister needs to be transparent." And boy, people came at me big time,
JLP come at you big time.
Listen, man, they call me, and I was being so balanced and so fearful, so very kind, and well, what has happened now is that the Prime Minister is one of them who is being investigated for illicit enrichment. The Integrity Commission has not come down with any findings, but they said they want to refer it to some other agencies to follow through, because they're finding that they can't really ascertain certain things. Couple of things which was there was like 28 bank accounts that was the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
There was some talk about 700 something thousand US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
One account, one was 50,000 US dollars. And when I did a simple calculation of the 730,000 US dollars plus 50,000. So if you know the rate in Jamaica, 730,000 plus 50,000 equals 780 times 158. That's 123 million.
So hold on, their account is holding this account?
Yes, that's
all
what.
Accounts?
Yeah, 28, not 27, not 29, 28. So what is happening now is, let me play this. I'm going to play this. Just listen to this. Listen to this. Because there are questions being asked of many people, of media houses, of the Prime Minister. Do you know who are the persons being investigated? And I believe what he said was no. Listen to what this lady said.
And I sat down and I looked at the dates. For months, we were at that point where we said, nobody.
Hold on, I need to play it properly. Play it from the start.
Yeah, that's the one that I watched too, and
Yeah.
I've even posted myself.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yes, it is.
Daniel Archer, she has been on my show a couple of times.
And I sat down and I looked at the dates. For months, we were at that point where we said, nobody knew if they were being investigated. The Integrity Commission didn't send a letter. I don't know. Nobody has said anything to me. When you look at this report, the initial communication was September 30, 2022, regarding the omissions in the 2021 statutory declaration. There were follow-up requests to provide additional information and corrections. February 23, 2023, March 6, 2023, March 12, 2023, April 4, 2023. He was interviewed on January 12, 2023 Further meetings and interviews were had, and a significant meeting was had on the 31st of August 2023. A letter was sent on May 5th, 2023. I'm going to make sure I write them down because we don't want to make no error. A letter was sent on May 5th, 2023, informing him of the referral received for investigations regarding his 2021 statutory declarations, and the referral raised concerns about potential illicit enrichment and other issues. So here is the problem. Even if we're not concerned about the veracity, the truth in these documents, I am concerned that my leader, Dr. Andrew Holness, did not tell me as a voter, as an individual, as a citizen, that he knew that he was being questioned. All this time we were operating under the pretext that this was a dopey thing. Nobody know nothing about it. Now, when you look at this report, and this is when you want to ask for facts, if you don't think the money important, the honesty, the truth is important, because you made me feel that nothing ever goes so. And if you have interviews, you have emails, you have meetings, and a one-on-one thing. One of the meetings were held at his office. So tell me, Dion as a Jamaican, even if I don't believe that the Barita people them said the thing right or the bond thing not right, and I adequately earned my money, why would you not tell me that you knew that you were being questioned?
Okay, okay. So what you see right there is Daniel Archer from National Integrity Action. It's a advocates group in Jamaica. She's been on the show a couple of times. I was actually speaking to her earlier today about this. There are no questions around how is the Prime Minister position untenable. Muriel, I'm going to put this to you first. When is it that political leaders need to resign when they're caught in a trap like this? Mark you, let me say this, let me clarify. There's not been a finding as yet, but there are facts which are established out there. You know, there's not a finding that they're having these level of investigation. Many people are saying it's time for him to go. They're saying it's time to pack his bag and go. What's your take on this? And guys, let's juxtapose it with America and juxtapose it with the UK as well. Go for it, Murid.
You know, the facts, then there should be a finding, and there should be a decision about, whatever the allegation is already in floating in the Jamaican politics and in the Jamaican system, right? About this matter. So I feel it like, you can't just we can't just expect a leader to resign just because of an allegation being pointed against him, but he has to make sure that that particular allegation has to be investigated with free and fairly, without
Yes.
any intervention. It should be given the right freedom for the investigators to find the final outcome. And if the final outcome is proving the Prime Minister is wrong, I think, it's very simple answer. He has to leave. It's not only he has to leave. I will always say the leader is not leaving. The leader is not leaving his office. I would say he must leave his public life. That's all. He has a freedom to live, as a general life. But I would say like he has to leave his public.
Let me just bring this quickly in a question. A statement someone said on TikTok. I think he should step back until there's a resolution. But can a Prime Minister step back? Can a Prime Minister step back from being a Prime Minister? Gary,
it comes down to integrity. It comes down to the integrity of leadership. I mean, look at all. Okay, Muhid. Now you're in Sri Lanka, yeah. Now you're in that part of the world where in recent months or even recent years, there's been leaders, presidents, and probably prime ministers who have been taken out of office just on the notion that they, of corruption or whatever. I mean, just the smell of it there, they would the armies. There are certain countries in that area of the world where the armies would come in and take over straight away. What do you call it? A military junta or
Cool.
whatever. Now,
Oh, cool.
now,
Yeah.
now, yeah, a
Yeah,
coup. Now look
military
what's
coup.
happened where Jamaica is concerned. You've got a prime minister or you've got a leader where he has 20, is it 28 accounts? He has 28 accounts
Yeah.
with a whole, as the West Indians or Jamaicans would say, with a whole heap of money in them, and he is being investigated. Yet it's as if he knows nothing about the investigation which is against him. Now that smells of integrity. He
Yep.
has to step down. To me, he has to step down because how can he correct anybody in his party or correct anybody in or throw accusations on anybody else in any other party, and he is wrong. He is wrong. I mean, it's total hypocrisy, really, when you look at the whole thing. And there's no leader in this world that seems not to have a smoke of hypocrisy around them, really.
Well, I just see the whole
Yeah,
party is something wrong with it because from them make the wife the speaker of the house. Right there, son.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Right there.
mm. You're saying
Because
something.
she's the one
Yeah.
that's really running the country, you know. The speaker is really the one that, you know, and if she probably said to the waiting in the team them, okay, you don't put it out there, you don't say that, they're not. So
Mm,
it is
He,
corruption in there. His wife shouldn't be in the position that she's in. It should be a no. That's conflict of interest.
Big
mm.
time.
here, the prime minister is running the country and the speaker running the home. When it's come to this
Yeah,
saga, right?
yeah,
But what I can tell you is, like, as Gary said, I'm in with that line also. But what is my take is, okay, uh, he knows whether he's guilty or not. That is the main part. Whether the investigators are finding or not, he knows that. But the best thing is, if he knows that he is guilty on that, the best thing is he should what do you call, uh, he should resign and give it the
resign, step
leadership to a
down.
new man, because the election is coming in 2025. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if he stays and he's allowing the investigators finding his fault, then if he's packing the bag, mean he's not only packing the bag by leaving this office, and also he's allowing his party to lose the next election, because the election is very near the in several months later, by 2025. I don't know the when this was the date, but very soon the Jamaican people are going to vote for the next parliament, and obviously the People's National Party will have the better chance to come back, because even though this he's having a, I think, uh, the current ruling party is having 49 seats and the opposition is 14, but 31 is the majority they need to run to run a government. I think they will overturn it, if this particular prime minister is playing this, delaying and creating the confusion, and finally is
Mm.
accepting his fault, means then it's the party also is losing their credibility. Then it's the opportunity for the opposition to come back to power. So that's the prime minister has to think. He has to make the decision by himself. He has run he's run about almost 14, I think, 2016 20, like, almost 8 years of premiership. And if he really thinks about his party first, and if he knows that he is guilty,
Yeah.
instead of now, as Gary said, it's very clear. He is telling that he don't know anything. Mean that is a very that is the credibility question. The integrity
That's a
That,
part is
lie.
there.
He's a
that's a
liar.
trust issue. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Jacqueline asked the same question which someone's on TikTok, and I put this question. She said, "I say step down until a trial is conducted." But how can you ask a prime minister to step down until he just has to go? Because as far as I'm concerned, when I look at it now, and let's use this as an example. Let's use the UK. Sir Starmer, you know, is in a situation where he's got 28 accounts. Sir Starmer have these money which he can't account for since he became prime minister. What would happen? Tell me, what would happen there with the British? The press would hound him, isn't it?
I mean, he wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Yeah.
28 accounts. 28 is not even one. I could understand if it was one.
Yeah.
But he has 20. That goes to show, and I don't know if Muhid would agree, but that goes to show the level of thought, and also he wanted to hide something. You don't spread out your money 28 ways without having a thought of it not being found. You don't do something like that.
Yep. Yep.
No, there's some. Listen, they thought
That's
about
right.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's right, Rev. That's
They
right.
thought about what they're doing.
They thought
listen,
about what they was doing, and he know what he was doing, and it was all
it was
in
planned.
the name of scheming the Jamaican people. Then
you see, listen. Our prime minister, the politicians, look at it this way, my friends. Any politician in any country across the world, they're not fools. They're highly educated people, or so they want us to believe.
And you got to be a good liar too.
They know people who can do things, and I wouldn't be surprised that if it came out that there's more than 28 accounts. And
I wouldn't be surprised either.
And that they are there's some accounts in Cayman.
I was just about to say that offshore accounts
or
too.
in Qatar or Dubai. I wouldn't be surprised.
Somebody just said there may be more. Yeah.
Our leaders are efficient. Our leaders, some of them are highly paid. They were highly paid lawyers. A lot of them, as we all know, a lot of politicians are lawyers. So they know what they're talking about.
Yes.
They are lawyers. Most of the government of our world look and find out and see what they studied. They studied law, so they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. It's only us. It's only somebody like me can't do what they're doing, because I can't lie. I will try to do what I can, but we can't lie. And then when I get caught doing what they're doing, how much do I get? I get 50 years to no parole, and them just get my stuff free.
Or climbing an ackee tree. They lock up the climbing an ackee tree.
I think in my point of view, by after this the round of discussion, like what we are talking about, this Jamaican saga, I think the Prime Minister knew what was really about these 28 accounts, and if it is the best thing for him, if he knew that he has done the blunder, he has to respectfully resign. Rather than that, he is being kicked out by the people, by the system, and by the by the party. Whatever he gained, the integrity he gained for the last 8 years, will be vanish in thin air.
And I don't think that they'll kick him out.
Is,
I really don't see the Jamaican people like that, because to me, a lot of them is not educated enough.
Now what I am telling you is this. Now if the findings are through the investigations is against is not in favor with the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister will be kicked out in some other way, right? So that doesn't mean that if the system is kicking out, means the people who are kicking out. It doesn't matter about your voting. And the next, what happened? The party also will lose the credibility, and they will lose the election. But what I want to tell you is,
I'm not talking about the voting at this time. I'm just talking about the
not the voting.
the mentality of the Jamaican people, how they think. A lot of them is still even taking up for him right now. A lot of them is not even seeing what's going on. They're still taking up for this man. They don't see it because they are just not educated in the way of saying about politics, how it really runs. It's Jamaica is all about party. They don't know not about no country where it's supposed to do. No, that's the way I'm seeing it.
Mm,
Okay. They are not, they need to be
But
educated because you have a lot of Jamaicans right now that still are go fit, Andrew. And still not say, and still I say that them a lie upon him, them a this upon him and all them things. I tell you.
mm.
yeah,
Plenty
but my
Jamaicans.
question is like, do you believe the system? Do you believe the system?
Do I believe
The system is
Jamaicans?
the system is very fair when it comes
Mm.
to
No,
corruption.
no. The system is not fair.
So
The
even
system not
even
Yeah.
fair.
even any
Straight out.
politician who got caught for corruptions, he won't be kicked out. You think that he can be safer?
May I tell you, if they come out and say he did have the 28 accounts, this, that, may I tell you, the Jamaican people, them, the way I'm seeing it right now, they will still say, no, them a lie upon him, I'm telling you. That's the way I see it.
What she's saying is true. Myriad. If you look on around on some of the social media handles, and if I just say what I even wrote on Twitter, all I did on Twitter was just saying something which wasn't.
Exactly.
It was just very it was very simple. It was very
It
simple.
wasn't biased. It wasn't
This is what
leaning one
this
way or the other way.
this is what
He
I
just
said.
made a statement.
Yeah, this is what I said.
And look how them come at you.
Yeah, the important thing is that any elected official, and especially a PM, should be transparent and accountable in his financial dealings. One person come on
All
and
right.
say,
And they
"Yeah,
went at
talk,
you just to
yeah, yeah,
state
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, talk, yeah, junk." You
You
don't
see
know what
that?
you talk about. Listen, man. You know,
Okay. And
runway.
you didn't say his
Yeah,
name, you didn't say, all you're talking about is that the government should be transparent.
all I,
And
s-
look how the
all I
Jamaican
was,
people them going.
all I was saying was that any elected official should be transparent and
Exactly.
accountable.
And you're
And
correct. And what you said is correct.
listen, man. I mean, I mean, I even said to one person, said, "Listen, I'm not going to respond to you. I wouldn't like my mother to know that I'm talking to someone who speaks to me like this." And the person run away. The drag I am one of them. P.O. who feeling rich, go lick your massa boot and go
You
ahead.
see that? Now
Move your
look at
dirty,
that.
move your dirty, Gary, move your dirty BC. You know, this is what
Oh my
the,
gosh.
the effing nerve of you. And all I said was just that. That's all I said. Now,
You
one of the
see?
things that I always talk about, and I say in regards to Jamaica, is that the middle class do not come out and vote.
No, they
Right?
do not.
37% of the person who came out to vote last time was at the general election. 29% came out to vote at the local government elections, and they are not of the
Upper class.
yeah, or intellectuals. You know what I mean? You know, and I always say this, that even leaders, guess what? The present prime minister and the MPs that he have not signed up to the Nolan principles. They have not signed up to the 7 codes of conduct, which was selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. Yeah, they haven't signed up to that, bro. This is something that every UK politician have to sign up to. They didn't sign up to those things.
You see,
People allow it.
no,
Go on.
it is sad
Jamaican
that
politicians are the only one where me see go in there and get rich. Most
Mm.
politicians here in America, just like a regular your little um mayor, what I don't know, rich. Them not going to get at some struggling people are just going there really, for try to make a change. But I at Jamaica, politicians to me they run into politics because they know it's a way or they get rich in the government in Jamaica.
Yeah, but I think that's across the board,
Mm.
Mish. I think there are people in the UK, in America, there are people in Europe, and I would even say probably where Muheed is. Muheed. I'm sure he could also say there are people who have entered politics. When
Mm.
they enter politics, they enter with pure reasons, or they entered at a very reasonable level. But by the time they finish, they're millionaires, and they're millionaires because of what they could gain
Mm.
through the party or through the government in which they're representing.
Mm.
So so I
Politics,
I wouldn't.
politics, politics, politics is a game of gaining, not losing.
That
I'm
is
not talking
true.
about voting. I'm saying about their
Gaining,
personal
yes,
life.
yes, that is true.
Yes,
That is true.
that's it.
Yeah.
It is happening in Sri Lanka. It is happening in most part of the world because but
Hmm.
they always come. I'll tell you one philosophy in politics is whoever
Mm.
comes with a slogan of anti-corruption, it's a very simple message that he's the future corrupter. That's all.
Mm.
Right.
Whoever
Well,
stands for anti-corruption and they come to
yeah.
politics, and he's the person who is going to become the future corrupt person.
Yep.
So that's how the politics is always
Mm.
interpreted. Okay. Now there is only two. Now look at this. Now if you see the Jamaica, like there's one thing as I saw in corruption is not lied to the not to the particular part of the region in the world. Okay, we talk about corruption in Asian politics is corrupt. Not only Asian politics, even US, even UK, even everywhere, it's corrupt,
Hmm. It's
right?
corrupt.
How it's corrupt is this. How they do the corruption, okay, it's very simple. In one part of the world, is a corruption is like a butcher. The other part of the world, the corruption is like a surgeon. But at the end, both are cutting the flesh in two different techniques. You can see the butcher is cutting the flesh, but you can't see the surgeon. You can't feel the surgeon cutting the flesh. But anyway, they both cut. So this is how it's happening around the world. So I tell that, for example, you tell me, why do we need wars? Why do we need use this all these type of weapons against human? We
Mm.
have been in the ancient since the ancient period, like in ancient time, we came up in this civilized world. We call ourselves as civilized against the ancient people, but we aren't civilized, to be honest. But we are not using our self power. We
Yeah.
use something else that destruct anything. So,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you need to have a war for the particular weaponaries to be sold. So the weaponaries, the manufacture of the weapon, okay,
Mm.
they are part and parcel of the politicians.
Yeah. You
They
you know
they they link with the politicians.
Well,
yeah. You
all
know
wars are
the
bankers' wars, so it make money too.
yeah. You, I mentioned the point about what are grounds for political leaders to resign. And I did a little research, and a couple of things that came up was political leaders should consider resigning under several circumstances, especially when their continued leadership may negatively affect the functioning of their office, the public trust, or the democratic process. And I would say, and based on what I'm hearing, I'm picking up, the prime minister position is untenable because people do not trust him. It says one, scandals or ethical misconduct. Corruption if a leader is involved in corruption, bribery, or misuse of public funds. Resignation is often necessary to restore public trust and allow for a transparent investigation. That's the point you guys were saying. Step back so therefore there can be a transparent investigation. You don't want the prime minister or the person that they're investigating have their kitty right there, Because you remember Trump? Remember when Trump was removed? He had to leave. Of course, he took some stuff with him, you know what I mean? But all of a sudden, that place, which was the White House, which you had access to, no more. You're not the man anymore. Criminal allegation when leaders face credible criminal charges, especially for serious offenses. Moral and ethical failures if leaders engage in a behavior that violates societal ethics or moral standards, sexual misconduct, etc. Loss of public confidence, eroded public trust when a political leader loses the confidence of the electorate due to this poor performance, dishonesty, or mismanagement.
Right.
Widespread protests or unrest, failure of leadership, ineffectiveness if a leader is unable to effectively manage their office, Broken promises, leaders who fail to deliver, policy failures, you know, um, ineffectiveness, broken promises, loss of political support, internal party pressure. I must say, I was looking at a couple of the MPs who were standing behind the prime minister. The body language wasn't looking very nice, you know. It's like everybody's all jockeying and say, who will take over, you know. Parliamentary or legislative rejection when a leader's policy or leadership style causes significant friction, health issues, physical or mental health decline. Well, that is what do you call it? Biden.
Biden.
Personal, yeah, personal reasons, you know. Um, family burnout or fatigue. I remember the lady in New Zealand, the one who had a baby. She stepped down. No, instead on she was out of burnout. She had her child and she just wanted to leave. That's what she did. Isn't that correct, Muirhead? The Muirhead, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, maintaining
Yeah, I
institutional
think. Yeah. She left.
yeah,
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah,
She did.
maintaining
Jacinda. Yes,
institutional integrity to protect the office. And that is so
yes, she
crucial,
did.
whereby you protect the office. The office of the prime minister, the office of president is so crucial. If you find that your actions or you being there is creating, what should I say, disrepute to the office, step back. That's what it is.
Yes,
Protect the office, ensure smooth transition, legal obligation, constitutional legal mandates. And in conclude, is a political leader should resign when their ability to lead effectively is compromised, whether due to personal failings, loss of public confidence, ethical breaches, or health issues. Resignation, while difficult, can be honorable way. And one of the things that they said that there was a massive conflict of interest again. The massive conflict of interest was that one of the persons who were on the prime minister's bank account or part of the business, 'cause there's three companies or so, was a person who is in charge of the UDC, Urban Development Corporation. This is a big organization, Murid. I believe from when 1962, when Jamaica became independent, I believe land should have been apportioned to the people of Jamaica. But what has happened is that the land is caught up into another bourgeoisie, a replica of the, the bastion of the last relics of slavery still there, whereby land which should have been distributed is now controlled by another arm. And guess what? The prime minister's man is in charge of it. Doesn't look good, guys. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
It's it's not good. How
I,
can
Mm,
it ever
I
how
think.
can it ever be good, really?
mm.
I think on my last discussion we had talking about this by-election, and
Yes.
I told, like, they wanted to either, there are two type of options that are going on. One is, they wanted to test the, what do you call, that means, to tell the, to give the message to the people. It's a
Yes.
safe seat. The election definitely comfortably wins by the, uh, the Jamaican, what do you call, the Jamaican, what's that, the ruling party of Andrew's ruling party,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
JLP, the Labour
Uh,
Party. Yes.
JLP, yeah, Jamaican Labour Party, and the other way around, the People's National Party, right? Okay,
Yeah.
they don't want to contest because they don't want to give a negative signal to the people, because very soon they will have a general election. But
Mm.
now, I feel it like, after this particular, I don't think this by-election is triggered just because of, uh, you know uh, somebody stepping down, but I think some sort of an internal rift begins inside the Jamaican Labour Party. That is the result. Now this matter also comes out. This is what I'm thinking, right?
Mm.
So, it's very clear. Okay,
Yes.
uh, Andrew Hollins, he has been, carrying this premiership for the last 8 years.
Yes.
I think, I think the leadership tussles begin inside the Jamaican Labour Party.
Mm.
So that's the part. That's the beginning of this particular, the process of leadership tussle. This is one of
Mm.
the reasons now. I think there will more will be coming. I feel it like, because as a political, as a strategist, I feel it
Yes.
like, now the rift is all about kicking him out from the party. It's to forget about the
Yes.
people. at the end of the day, as you said, the one of the condition, like, through the party pressure, the leader has to leave, right? So the pressure is starting to begin through some allegations, which is I don't know whether this allegation is the true or not true, but based on his response to that particular activist, that he don't know nothing means, that means, like, if I feel it, like he lost his integrity, and I think he's in a trouble soup now, and some or other, I think he will be kicked out by his own party.
Someone, I was listening to a guy named Oral Tracy. This is a commentator in Jamaica, and he said, what the prime minister should do is this: if he has made so much money while he was being prime minister, what he should be doing is teaching Jamaicans how to make lots of money. He should do a 5-part program by saying how I can inspire you to make money.
Yeah, but if it's making money in a dishonest way, why?
Yeah,
Nobody
I know. No, the person was
people-
being the person was being facetious and joking there, But yeah, I really, my prayer and from overseas as so is that Jamaicans, and somebody said it a while ago. Who is it said it? Jacqueline said it. She said here, Jamaicans just want to fight to say red versus green, and in the end do not know what they're fighting for. I really believe and hope somehow that Jamaicans really move beyond the orange and the green and really come together to say, listen,
it's about the country, not
it's
about
the
party.
country. It's about, education. I hear is not so great, but everything is so distracted because even the local government election, even that by-election, which is supposed to happen on the 30th, I understand that the JLP guy is suing the PNP caretaker, all this sue thing as well. As a matter of fact, everybody
They're so petty.
It's so petty. They're like kids.
Yes.
Why. You know what I'm trying to say?
And then the thing about it, what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking too, even for them to do this investigation, them cannot do it with a company there in Jamaica. They got to go out, get a company, bring a company in to do that audit, to do whatever they got to do.
Gary,
I agree with Jacqueline.
Huh?
I agree. I totally agree with Jacqueline.
Gary, you're saying
there
something.
There should be an independent company.
No, that's okay. I mean, how are they going to get over the red, the green and the orange if they're suing each other over petty things? Huh? I mean, if Jamaica at all was ever going to get to grow up, it should have been done long time ago. It passed growing. It's seen. They're senile now. Jamaica
senile now for true. Yeah, you can't change them people no more. Once and them get to there's no changing them set.
You know what would be so great? Like the whole diaspora organizations which is around. I'm not talking the alternative one because I understand there's some issues there, but these diaspora organization which is like overseas in the UK, the USA, they don't actually challenge the PM on these things, and they're actually going to meet with him in Lemon University somewhere in the States on Saturday. And even here, for argument's sake, I'm going to reach out to the guy Nathaniel Pete, and I'm going to say, what is the diaspora position in light of the investigations on the Prime Minister? What's your position? And I'm going to.
These organizations, Sylbourne, are talking shop. They don't have any teeth. They have no teeth. Because if they had any respect for the diaspora, if they had any respect for those outside of Jamaica, they would listen to what the diaspora is saying, and they would want to make changes. These people don't want change. They want to stay where they are.
They want to stay where they are.
Exactly. They just want to be who they want to be.
Yeah.
They curry favor with us or with the diaspora. They come over, they wine and dine you. They say yes. Everything you're saying is correct and make us feel good. That's what they do. But when they go back to do the nitty gritty and to do the work. You should know this, Sylbourne. Look how much petrol you spent last year. Run up and down the place doing town hall meeting,
constitution reform, and hold on,
you
and
know,
hold on. And hold on, that's a very good point. The whole aspect of constitution reform, which is being discussed for amending the constitution of Jamaica, what is so crucial at this time is that this particular incident speaks right into it, whereby you should be having conversation about a recall mechanism, impeachment. These are things that should be in the constitution. Whenever an elected representative pass away or resign, how long should there be an election, a local government election? So you don't have one which has been sitting there for a year, and then another one which just resign, and the next day you have a by-election. There's got to be some structure. There's got to be some level of certainty, and I believe it's a clear disrespect to the people of Jamaica, and respect to the people of Jamaica is needed and is required. And one of the things that I've been doing is be speaking up and calling out the middle class in Jamaica, because I'm getting to understand now, and I've got record of it. People saying, "Boy, we can't bother with the voting." When I went to Jamaica, they don't vote. Middle class people hardly vote in Jamaica. You understand? And that's the thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, guys, that's it.
Sylbourne,
Yes.
excuse me, I had to head off.
Okay. Well, okay, we're finishing. Thank you, Muhid.
Nice.
Have a good one.
Yes, nice to meet you all.
night.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Jacqueline.
you.
Thank you,
Good
Gary,
night.
and thank you, Sylbourne. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bless
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Michelle, all the best, and look forward to see you Saturday night. I'm supposed to be having maybe one of the gentlemen from the by-election, and we're going to talk about corruption. I'm hoping to get a couple other persons to speak into it. In the UK, we normally make a bet to say when the Prime Minister will resign. Normally they'll resign by Friday. I don't know about in the UK, in Jamaica, how it's going to be. What do you think, Michelle?
Well, I mean, I know, I think I'm all hold on to it for in dear life.
What do you think?
Not
Yeah.
go nowhere. Him not go nowhere.
Valerie, when do you think the resignation will be? Jacqueline, when do you think the resignation will be? Let me know, and take it to the bank. All right. Well, listen, guys, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Michelle, thank you.
Have a good
And
night.
have a good night.
All right,
Red
miss.
and
Take care,
Sylbourne,
man.
have a good night, guys.
Yeah, man.
Thank
Bless you. Bless you.
Okay,
you.
Red. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining, and those joining me on Instagram, those joining on Facebook, and those joining on YouTube. We had a very interesting discussion talking about when should leaders resign in the political domain, and I think it's very important, especially in light of Jamaica and what is happening in Jamaica, and I believe that Jamaicans need to wake up, and this is an opportune time. It's not about hitting at anybody, but we're talking about integrity. The 7 Nolan principle, which I speak about a lot, and I speak about it at every opportunity that I can, is selflessness. Let's go through them. Holders of public office should act solely in terms of the public interest. They should not do so in order to gain financial or other material benefits for themselves or their family or friends. Integrity. Let me just turn this down a bit. Let me just run this one. You guys just take me for a second. Let me just run this one. This is so very important. Integrity. Holders of public office should not place themselves under any financial or other obligation, to individuals or organizations that might seek to encourage improper behavior in the performance of their official duties. Objectivity. In carrying out public business, including making public appointments, awarding contract, or recommending individuals for rewards and benefits, holders of public office should make choices on merits. Accountability. Holders of public office are accountable for their decisions and actions in the public and must submit themselves to whatever scrutiny is appropriate for their office. Openness. And this is a bit about transparency as well. Holders of public office should be open as possible about all the decisions and actions that they take. They should give reasons for their decisions and restrict information only when the wider public interest clearly demand. Honesty. Holders of public office have a duty to declare any private interests relating to their public duties and to take steps to resolve any conflicts arising in a way that protect the public interest. And finally, leadership. Holders of public office should promote and support these principles by leadership and example. And this was asked of the Prime Minister and his parliamentary party to sign up to, which they haven't. But I understand that the People's National Party has done so. Even persons who are not members of the parliamentary party, but prospective parliamentary candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, we need a better Jamaica. We need a better life. Jamaica just want to fight and say green. Yes. Let me just see what's it. Bye, never. We said never. He said never. Jacqueline never. The Prime Minister, he's a dictator. He's also involved in SSL money. Okay. All right. Well, let me leave that. All the best. Have a good night. And remember to like and subscribe to the show. And much appreciate that. And thank you.